Cheers. Cheers. We are back. If it goes down a second time, I will probably call it a day for part two of Pop On to Pop Off Ramblings. Did want to comment on Dick Van Dyke and Bruce Willis, and whatever else comes to mind. Your topics are always welcome. Um, we had about 8 or 9 people at least in a video that was completely impromptu, and now we have one joining us, and hopefully the rest of you will come back as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the virtual church of the disillusion, where we will be live for our full broadcast Saturday night at midnight East Coast time. We'll be talking about your Bob Joyce emails and comments. My mail has gone up like 70% since I'd say December, 70% more emails and a lot of comments too in the various videos. So we'll see if people find this new stream. They say to wait, that they're trying to correct it, but I have a feeling I'll be waiting for a while. Shelly B, I'm here again. Thank you so much for that beautiful artwork you did, that digital artwork you did. As you see, I'm starting to use it, and I like it very, very much. I like it very, very much. Don't look there, look here when we're addressing the viewer. Like it a lot. Just think it's really cool. I would never have the wherewithal to do something like that, and I appreciate it. Shelly B is from Australia. She's from Australia, and her and her husband Greg are in Sydney, Australia, where we've heard from 2 or 3 people just from Sydney alone. So maybe you can all get together at some point if this keeps up. Also, Shelley suggested that we talk about a number of things that she mentioned. The one we're going to go with this Saturday night is travel spots. Be thinking about those special places in your life that you like to travel to, and you've probably been there more than once, and it's just an awesome experience. Where's everybody else? Yeah. They probably said, well, it's we got things to do. It's that time of the day. And it's usually when we do a stream in the afternoon, or the 11 o'clock stream, when it's most likely to go down, it seems. Usually at midnight we don't. We have 2 watching now. Sometimes I get paranoid. It's because I just started to randomly talk about politics. But, I watch some of the other speakers on here. Russell Brand on YouTube. Fantastic. He's also on Rumble. Russell Brand is like the new guy in conservative media. He's not 100% conservative, I don't think, but he sure knows the jive of the woke progressive movement. And Candace Owens is all over YouTube, and she tells it like it is. She tells it like it is. So I think that the when Google is accused of not allowing conservative voices, yes, they do. And they give us a worldwide voice, but you have to still be responsible and respectful. And we try to do that without, cutting the importance of the message of what we're saying. And if someone comes on that is woke, progressive, whatever, you're welcome here too. Just like if you're not a Christian, you're welcome here too. Absolutely. Hello, Fiona from Scotland. Hi, folks. Streaming fine now. So you were watching before. Nice to see you when we are still awake in Scotland. What time is it there right now, Fiona? Because I have no idea. I'm clueless to that. I could find out. I could find out. Sometimes I think, why didn't I check into that? Why didn't I know that? Why didn't I know that Larry Chance has a song called Elvis is Alive, which is right here on YouTube. Hello, Cheryl Everhart. I'm here again. I'm so glad. So it's 8:15 in Scotland right now. So you're 4 hours ahead. 7:15 in Sydney, Australia. Um, what is the most popular food in Scotland? What's the most popular food in Sydney? I'd love to know that. Saturday night we'll be talking about your favorite travel spots, but here in the United States of America, pizza's got to be number one. I saw a Facebook posting once. I saw a Facebook posting once that said, "You cannot please everyone. You are not pizza." Or as I said Saturday night, I think, check out that stream. Didn't use the magic words, didn't get as many views. So, you like what you like, and I'm not fighting it. I'm not fighting it, because it's about your comments, not me coming up with something new, but what you have to say, and you can be fascinating in your comments. But as I said Saturday night, and this is from the movie Fatso with Dom DeLuise from the 70s, a great movie. Before Dom was really heavy, he was kind of chunky, but he wasn't heavy till later. But he said that on his grave, or it was in the movie, that on the tombstone would be "Rest in Pizza." If I want to feel convicted, in terms of my Christian walk and my Christian life, um, I uh, uh, I have said this before, that if I had to prove that I had an allegiance, a dedication to pizza, no problem, no problem. But to God, not so much, not so much. Hot and cold. I try not to be in the middle. I'm either hot or cold, and the goal is to be hot. Love a bit of, okay. You're going to have to explain this, Fiona, because it sounds a little sexual to me. Love a bit of haggis, neeps, and tetties. LOL. Oh, I don't get the joke though, because I'm not from Scotland. By the way, always you can always email me some details you wouldn't be comfortable writing here. Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. FAIR. But what are haggis, neeps? I'm especially interested in neeps and tatties. Oh, that of course makes me think of, I'm a guy. Tatas, tatas. I'm not saying tata, by the way. I'm saying tatas. You know what they are, don't you? There's only like 50 different names for them, aren't there? Hi, Fiona, says Cheryl. With our multicultural society, says Shelley B. Here we have a wide variety of ethnic dishes to choose from. People still love their macas for takeaway, but the food that is but Thai food is becoming very popular here too. We have Thai restaurants. We have a really nice one in Warwick, New York. Not so much in the city I live in. We have less of that. We have a lot of Mexican food here in the city I live in. There's a place called El Bandito that I went to in the 70s, when I was a young lad. And it's still there today, although, like many of our icon businesses here, they were sold. But the cuisine is still similar, and it's a beautiful house. And I go in there, but I have the same thing every time. I'm so anal in that department. I have the enchiladas, three of them, with the refried beans and the rice, and of course the guacamole with the chips and the great salsa that they make. I hear there's a really great place in downtown Chester, New York, just in case anybody's watching from New York, where Clayton Delaney's used to be. There's a great it's called Taco something, but they have more than tacos. They have a full menu, and I'll be checking that out, because now we got some. As soon as Karen gets better, we'll be able to go. um Oh, okay. You call that McDonald's, Shelly B? Yeah. My first job, well, my first job of any length was McDonald's, along with being an usher at the Plaza Theater across from McDonald's. 2 jobs at 16. So I get myself a car and stuff. Nobody wanted to give me reparations. I said, "I'm from England. I think we were treated badly when we came over here." Not me, but my, grandmother, and I'd like reparations. Um, Fiona in Scotland says, traditionally eaten at a Burns supper. Or is that bum supper? Let me see. Celebrating Robert Burns. Boy, I want to know more about this, Fiona, and I want to know more about this, Shelley, in the email, jackthefairguy@gmail.com, because I think this could be an interesting topic for a future midnight. Well, we don't call it midnight ramblings anymore, thanks to Heather O'Brien, right? Heather O'Brien or Shelley H. I'm forgetting now. They came up with, I was going to call it World Ramblings because we're on in different time zones, as we can clearly see here. And then she threw in the word wide, and I thought, well, that's it. There it is. Worldwide ramblings. You just know when the title's right, you know when the title is right. Here come my regulars. I don't think we got Joseph back, did we? But um, the stream is working. If this one starts to buffer, we'll call it a day. But remember, we're going to be Saturday night. We're going to be live here with Worldwide Ramblings with your Bob Joyce emails and comments from various videos. If something breaks before that, we'll have that. But I'm since the response and enthusiasm from you is so incredible, we're not going to ever ban the topic here in the stream. I have said this before. If Bob Joyce were to video message me and ask me to take down the videos, the pre-recorded videos, I would. I've said that in 2018. But, what's the old saying? There's no such thing as bad publicity. That's not always true. You could think of some. There was bad publicity for Jared, the Subway guy. I'm watching that on Prime Video. You guys have Prime Video? There's a series now that talks about Jared's rise to fame, and then his trip to a prison cell where he sits today. He lost 270 pounds eating Subway. He'd have a half Subway turkey in the afternoon and then the veggie subby, a full sub at night. So that's bread there, and he lost about 279 pounds and became an international spokesman for Subway. And then one day before an interview that he's going to do with this is all I'm going to say about it, but it'll whet your appetite enough to watch it. He's going to talk with this woman who has a radio show, and he's already been on that, but now he's going to be on TV with her. And before they're going to start the interview, because he's trying to get kids to eat better, because kids obesity in children is an epidemic, and he's just chit chatting with her before they're going to go start recording, and he says to her, those middle school girls are really hot. She had to do an interview after this, but then she made it her lifetime work to befriend him and find out exactly who he really was, because he was going to be interacting with middle school girls, and it ended up destroying her life and his life. She got a lot of pushback from that. Watch that. It's on. I don't know why I'm promoting it on Prime Video right now. The Jared story, the Subway guy, pretty fascinating. Who else are we seeing here? Debbie Inglis is back. Cool. I'm back watching England-Italy football at the moment. Yeah, we would call that soccer. Yes, Elton John is a big football fan, isn't he, from the UK? But I think he spends a lot of his time here in the States these days near Atlanta. And anybody I missed that came back, I know Cheryl's here. And we got about 5 watching right now. This is pop on to pop off ramblings that we can do at any time of the day or night. Dick Van Dyke was involved in a minor car accident in Malibu where he drove through some kind of a gate, bloodied his nose, and caused a little bit of injury. And he has a Lexus sports car, I believe. I saw it when there was a video these guys posted where he was coming out of a restaurant and he was going to go to his car, and they showed him getting in his car. And as he was so nice, he stood there and talked to them, and then he started going into a story, which for these guys, these filmmakers, it's heaven. He's not only going to say hello, where you're from. He's going to go into a story about someone that made a replica, not a replica, but a model of the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car, and they sent him a photo of it. They sent him a photo of it, and then they gave it to their kid as a present, and he thought that was the greatest thing. 97-year-old man. Did he just turn 98? I know that William Shatner just turned 92, but it's not possible to look good at 92, right? It must be a Photoshop thing of William Shatner at 92, because I've had so many people. He doesn't look 88, couldn't be 88. you know Did you see the actor who from Dynasty, um, who played Blake Carrington, John Forsythe? Did you see him in his 80s? My goodness, if a man was ever meant to have white hair, it was John Forsythe. William Shatner looks a little pudgier now. Look out there, William Shatner, because we want you to make 100, but he still looks great at 92 years old. I think he's still doing his show there, talking about the unexplained, that kind of thing. Love him. Love him. And, now what they're going to tell Dick Van Dyke, what's coming, right? Time to stop driving. Time to stop driving. He's going to hear that now a lot. Shelly B says, since the pandemic and its lockdowns, a lot of businesses have had to close. Only last week, we lost one of our upmarket restaurants. They couldn't keep going financially. We heard about the draconian lockdowns in Australia, and we had some of that here too in certain cities. We did, not in the fine state of Florida, although Governor DeSantis did close the beaches for a while and what have you. He wasn't reckless, he did close the beaches, but we heard about what was happening in Australia. You have elected officials, and suddenly they turn into dictators. Of course, it was never worse in China, where COVID originated, probably in the Wuhan lab, right? That's what we think here, to be honest. But we heard about how those businesses were hurt, and they were hurt right in the state of Maine. Janet Mills, the governor there. I love the state of Maine. Janet Mills did one good thing for Maine. She opened up the door to expanded Medicaid, because it's a poor state. There's areas that are like like Bar Harbor, that's doing pretty well in the summertime. Not so much in the winter, but it's basically a poor state, and the taxes can be somewhat high. Not that high, but she opened up the expanded Medicaid, and shame on those southern states here in America, South Carolina, North Carolina. You need to have that for the people that live there right now. Food stamps and what have you in some cases. Look at how the economy has been sent into a tailspin as we spend our way into oblivion here in the USA, worse than a drunken sailor. And we won't be able to recover from this without a whole new administration and a line of thinking. So you like McDonald's, huh? You like McDonald's, or you at least you're saying it's very popular there, Shelley B. Yeah, I went there before the Peter Noon concert, and I always feel bad when I do. However, you can have the a salad with grilled chicken. I think you can still have that there. At least you can here. You can have. They used to have a wonderful parfait with strawberries and blueberries in it, and the granola you could put in, and they had that. I do enjoy a sausage egg McMuffin from time to time when on the road, especially. I don't. I'm, I'm not there in the morning, and I think they've stopped this 24-hour breakfast thing. They may have one or two items now, but COVID really changed service in America. What about where you are? It's like now you go into the Walmart that is 3 miles down the street. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They have like 12, 13 registers where there could be a person behind them, not one register open, just the self checkouts on both sides, just the self checkouts with some worker being disinterested, maybe looking at her cell phone or talking to another coworker. So now they are getting paid to watch the customers do their job. It's insanity. It's insanity. Find those stores that don't have self checkouts, or find a Wendy's where they don't have the kiosk, at least not the ones here in Middletown. You can go up to a human being and order your food. You don't have to sit there and try to figure this out. And God help you if you have cash. What are you doing having cash, And if for you fussy people that don't want the pickle or don't want to try to figure this out, and God help you if you have cash. What are you doing having cash, And if for you fussy people that don't want the pickle or don't want this or don't want that, you're going to be all day at the kiosk. Back when I worked at McDonald's, we didn't even have a drive-in, much less apps and people jumping ahead of you and all that. We had, like, when we were busy on a Saturday, I'm talking about when we were raging busy, we had 10 registered. We had, I think it was 5 registers, and you had people on each side, so 10 people that could take your order. That goes back to the day of a pad and pencil with checking off the items on the pad, and adding it yourself. Yeah, we didn't even have an electric light back then, or the bathrooms were an outhouse in the woods behind McDonald's. Not really, not really. I refuse to use a self checkout, says Fiona. We got 7 people watching right now. Don't doing people out of a job, or worse, having them stand there and watch you. They'll help you if you need it. Um, it was difficult finding you again, says Shelley B. Yeah, well, I don't know any of I'm technologically stupid, so I couldn't give you any kind of an intelligent answer on that. It's just all amazing to me, and I'm so thankful to YouTube for that. Thank you for liking it. I see those likes. Um, but tell me in an email about the Robert Burns supper, because that sounds interesting. And also, our friend from Scotland, I'd like to know more about the foods of Scotland and what you like to enjoy when you can. I'm here 24/7, 24/7, unless I'm off to an event. So, as I said before, Karen has COVID. She was positive for COVID, which sent the surgery date now back to April 27th. But on the positive note, that probably opens it up to that we can both go to Poco weekend, and she can swim in the pool, go in the hot tub, and have a good time. But she's always in pain of some sort. She has her medications. Gabapentin seems to do her well, gabapentin, but there's no stopping the pain. I'm lazy. I get my shopping delivered. Well, hoity-toity. I can understand, Debbie. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Our local ShopRite delivers. I've never seen. I used to see ShopRite trucks and what have you, people getting deliveries. I don't see it so much anymore. We like to go. We don't have our laundry and dryer, both broke, so we go to a laundry that's right next to ShopRite and Brother Bruno's Pizza. So, it's major temptation for Karen, who loves to go to ShopRite, and it's major temptation for me not to have something from Brother Bruno's. So, that's how that works out. New York pizza, there's nothing like it. But I've been doing my walking, and I may have time to get out there because we're staying light to about 7:30 in the evening right now. And if it's not raining, it's supposed to be on and off rain. I'll be out there walking in just a little bit. Black pudding. Yes, I have heard about that. I've heard of figgy pudding too, and I love bread pudding myself. Um, Black pudding. I don't think there's anybody around here that makes that that I know of. Or there is. There's someone who probably is Scottish that makes it, but they don't invite me to their home. What's in black pudding? What is black pudding? Sounds very interesting. I'm always for something with new sauces. Debbie likes the black pudding too, huh? Wow. I wonder what the main ingredient is, at least, of black pudding. There are so many shop locations with for lease signs on them. So sad, and the government had something to do with that being so heavy handed, I think. They went overboard, and we're learning now about Fauci, and he could be in trouble. They're trying, I mean, because he just denies, and makes fun of everyone who blows it off, So there's people that don't like that. Blood, of course, blood pudding. Well, I've heard of blood pudding, so blood is in black pudding. You have now made me think of Anthony Bourdain, who loved blood pudding, and you call it black pudding. I'm sure Anthony was in Scotland for one of his Parts Unknown shows or his No Reservations. Um, yeah. Anthony Bourdain would eat just about anything. Some things I don't think I could get down, but he also he loved pork. Anthony Bourdain, the pork dishes and the various sauces and the rice and what have you. What a loss when we lost Anthony Bourdain. Any Anthony Bourdain fans out there? He was just one heck of a guy. I like Stanley Tucci's Finding Italy show, and now he's producing a new one with that Longoria woman called Finding Mexico, and I'm sure that'll be good. I'll watch that. Sure, I'm sure they'll have a lot of security with her. I'm sure they will. Um, but Anthony was a major loss. It was a major loss, and he was right in the middle of filming an episode when he took his life in his hotel room. So it's one of those things I'll never get over. I loved him so much. Haven't had breakfast yet, Shelly B. Well, what's for breakfast today, huh? Once we got out of the drive-through testing center to see if Karen had anything else along with COVID that comes with it, sometimes like strep and something else. She took like 2 or 3 swabs, this person there. And she had heard because she sees this stuff on Facebook and then she wants it, or she wants to make the recipe. And she had heard about this deli in Slate Hill, New York, and she just had to go there because she heard they have these great blueberry scones. Now she was going to stay in the car wearing her mask, and I was going to go in, and that's where I met Javier. If you're anywhere near Slate Hill, New York, go to the Market Deli, which is in a strip mall next to Napoli's Pizza in Slate Hill, New York. And you will find this place that makes they have a turkey sandwich that they do. It's not the deli turkey. It's the like they carve a turkey and they use that. I think I prefer the deli turkey, but the blueberry scones were terrific. They had a chocolate croissant that was fantastic. They have all kinds of other bakery items, but all I had was a chocolate croissant. I didn't really have the blueberry scone. Karen did, and her son did, but it looked good. It looked really, really good. We have so many great bakeries, including the Latino bakeries that there's a place here on East Avenue called Jackie's Latin Kitchen, and I just have to stay away because once I get into that La Leche cake or whatever it is, it's wet on the bottom and it's got whipped cream on it. Once I start eating that, even if I get the family size version, I eat the whole thing or I share it with Karen, or I buy a separate small one for her and a separate small one for me. What will breakfast be there, Shelly B? We've got 10 people watching now. Means probably someone who hasn't said howdy. Love to know where you're from and what state you're watching from, if you're in the US or what country. Wouldn't it be nice if I could put a new name on my list of our countries and states that tend to watch us Saturday nights at midnight East Coast time, which is like what, 4 o'clock in the afternoon? The time change might have affected things. Could be 3 in the afternoon now when we come on on Sunday for you in Australia. But we I want to talk about Bruce Willis real quick. He had a big birthday party. He did. And he's got a lot of family, beautiful daughters and wife that love him so much. Um, and the house is incredible. The kitchen size is incredible. Of course, they're going to kiss and hug Daddy because Daddy has given them a life where they will never want for anything, right? And of course, he's got this. It's not dementia per se, but it's that aphasia thing or whatever, and uh, he doesn't say much, but he's singing along with them and moving his hands, and he's got a big scarf wrapped around him. He still looks good. He still looks like the Bruce Willis from the movies, but I don't think he'll be doing any more. Cereal with almond milk. Yes, I enjoy almond milk from time to time, or oat milk and scrambled eggs. And of course, I have to have my cup of joe, my cup of coffee, she says. I start the day with the juice of half a lemon in warm glass of water. Good for detoxing. Well, very good. Never had a cup of coffee in my life, but it sure smells good, especially the hazelnut, because I'm drawn to hazelnut. And when you put hazelnut in tea, that makes it very sweet. And when I have my Tetley cup of tea, and I have at least 2 cups a day, I just like to put half and half in there. But sometimes I'll put a chai tea bag in there, and that does make it sweeter. And I might even put a little Splenda in, or Karen likes the stevia. I might put that in there because I had that when we went to the Renaissance Fair in Tuxedo, New York. This year, we're probably going to go to the Renaissance Fair in Sanford, Maine, because then she can go to Madden's and stay at a cheap hotel, motel up there. But we've never been to the Renaissance Fair in Sanford, Maine, which is, I think, like at the airport, their little private airport there. So that ought to be fun. I love Maine. Have not heard from Maine. Oh my goodness. I'm just, my ratings in Maine are not what they need to be. um You don't like coffee? No, I've had it and spit it out a few times. So here we are. This was in my first marriage, going down to Florida, and we stop at a Shoney's. There's a big chain of Shoney's, not one here in New York that I know of. But as you start to go probably Virginia and down, you will see Shoney's, and they have a breakfast buffet, which I used to think is the cat's meow, and it's still pretty good. You can get everything from grits to a little silver dollar pancake and great sausage links and all that. So we had to find a way to get to the Shoney's in time for the breakfast buffet. And I think I was in Georgia, and the waitress, she's right there with the coffee. I mean, it's just assumed. And I said, no, I'd like a cup of tea, please. And I said, I've never had a cup of coffee. Oh, well, you haven't had ours. Next thing I know, she's going to get the tea, but she's pouring me a cup of coffee. And, I took a sip, and, I said to my wife at the time, I said, oh no, she didn't drink either. We were a totally coffee-free family in the first marriage and in the second marriage too. Come to think of it, Karen is a whole different story. a whole different story when it comes to coffee. I had to get a coffee at the deli, of course. She hadn't had anything yet. And so she had to have coffee with her blueberry scone. But so she pours me coffee at this Shoney's, and I don't know what I did. I just couldn't. I couldn't. I'm not that much of a people pleaser. I love the smell of coffee, though. But anything with coffee in it, coffee ice cream, iced coffee, now you've gone crazy in my book. Yeah, you're a tea person too, Debbie? Yeah. Well, my mom was from England. I wonder if Michael Stein is watching from the UK right now. He always gives me some interesting emails. I'm going to ask him to update us there because he always has interesting emails. And we'll be sharing your emails. He usually speaks about a number of topics, but he's very big on the Bob Joyce/Elvis topic. So we'll be doing that on Saturday night, looking at some emails. I don't give out names unless you say it's okay when it comes to an email. If you're using your name right here in the comment section, that's a different story. But there's the couple that their handle is Bob Joyce is Elvis. That's their title. And when they check in and they write great emails and they have their take on things, green tea is very healthy for you, Debbie, says Shelley B. Here is why I never drink green tea anymore, Shelley B. It was just one day I was sitting in the parking lot outside our Coney Island restaurant here, not to be confused with Coney Island in Brooklyn, which is a fantastic place with a great wooden roller coaster. But we have a Coney Island restaurant that has most famous for their hot dogs with their Coney Island sauce. And there's just nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And so I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the ABC newscast, and one of their stories is that green tea lowers the effectiveness of blood pressure medicine. It lowers the effectiveness. I only heard that one story, and since I am on metoprolol, did I take that yet today? Oh boy, I don't think I took my metoprolol. I got so busy. No wonder I'm starting to feel anxious. I take it twice a day. I take 200 milligrams now. I'm going to take it live here. Okay. It's right in front of me. I have a bottle here and a bottle downstairs. Yes, must take that. It lowers your heart rate. Whoa. I just saved enough water. There's just a little water in here to take my metoprolol. I forgot that. Thanks for reminding me by saying that thing about green tea. That reminded me to take my blood pressure medicine, see? But that's what they said. I don't know if that's accurate. Research it, Google it. If you're on blood pressure medicine, and who isn't these days, you got to think about that. Karen loves green tea, and she's on blood pressure medicine too, and she ignores me. But she only has it occasionally. Fiona in Scotland, in a tourist trap, tartan and tat shop. Now, what is tartan and what is tat? Oh my goodness, you got me so curious, Fiona. We had Fiona. That was a character in Shameless, right? Anybody watch Shameless on Showtime? That was what's her name? I can't think of her name right now. Who played Fiona on Shameless? Shameless really was shameless, but it had the great William H. Macy. Here's an actor I haven't mentioned. One of my favorite actors. He was the father in Pleasantville, and so many movies. The movie about the Dakota. The Dakotas, was it North Dakota? What was it? Fargo, the movie Fargo, starring William H. Macy. Great actor, and he was the star of of Shameless. And Jeremy Allen White, who has this new show where he runs a sandwich shop. It's on Fox Broadcast TV, and he won an award for it. But as much as I like him and loved him in Shameless, the endless goings on at a sandwich shop that's very busy I watched it, and the language is terrible too. And this is on FX, I think it's on, right? FX, not the Fox broadcast, but it's amazing what they're putting on basic cable TV now. For all the kids to see. Well, they see it anyway. You got your 12-year-olds looking at porn on his phone. Uh, what's a 12-year-old even doing with a phone unless they need one? And then there are times when they could need one. Heard about this school that makes you check your cell phone in and put it in this plastic container. Well, what if they needed it because some guy that had no problem getting an AK-47 or an AR-15? What if he's coming in? They're going to need to get on the phone sometimes if they run to a special place to let people know where they are and what have you. But yeah, you can't be talking on your cell phone in school. Tartan is called plaid in the U.S. Tat is what you call trash. So let's go back to your previous thing. I'm in a tourist trap, tartan and tat shop, a plaid and trash shop. You should never smoke the marijuana before coming on here. Or maybe I have. I don't know. It's very interesting to me what you're saying. Um, tartan is called plaid. We used to have plaid stamps here in the 60s. It was either S&H green stamps or plaid stamps. And we actually had a store in downtown Middletown where you could redeem your stamps for gifts and prizes or whatever. I don't know what I said. It's funny, Debbie, but I'm more confused than Kamala Harris at an integrity convention. Did I say that? Oh, she did it again with her wordsmith trying to sound intelligent. I feel bad for her because, she tries to speak like she knows what she's talking about, and then they make fun of her. Even CNN and MSNBC might on occasion comment on her lack of speaking ability. And she was a former federal prosecutor. I've heard her when she was precise, when she's grilling someone, and she's different in that setting. I don't know. How many we got? We got 13 here on impromptu pop-off ramblings. So anyway, Bruce Willis seemed to be enjoying his birthday party. I saw some of the last movies he did, and he did a slew of them at the end, as I think he got the diagnosis. He went from one to the other, and the roles were usually fairly small in there. Often he's a prisoner or something like that, but his body of work speaks for itself. I was never into the Die Hard movies, but certainly the Sixth Sense. And when he started out on Moonlighting, that was a great show. Any Bruce Willis fans out there, we wish him many more years, and that through medications and through the power of God more than anything, he's able to have some more good times where he knows the people around him and enjoys his, all the fruit of his labor, which is a lot of fruit. I've never seen a kitchen so big. My goodness. Susan says, I have said, listen to Larry Chance. It's a wonderful song. We talk about that in part 1 of today's video. And I've just done a Larry Chance video. It's up. So please like it, subscribe, share it. It's only like 5 minutes long, but it talks about that song that he recorded 9 years or so ago when the doo-wop legend, he's a doo-wop legend from the early 60s, Larry Chance and the Earls, remember then, da, 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 da. He recorded a song called Elvis, He's Alive. He never mentions Bob Joyce, so I don't know how he feels about that. If you do interact with him on Facebook, don't go for that because he doesn't want to talk about that. He would say, that's for Elvis to talk about. We call trash rubbish. Well, I know that. Yeah. And that's a popular term. If you don't like something someone is saying, that's a bunch of rubbish, right? Also, the U.S. pavement is our footpath. Oh, okay. I think I've heard that in a movie, probably a Hugh Grant movie. Any Hugh Grant film fans out there? Oh my goodness. How many times have I seen Notting Hill with the great Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts, and the rest of the cast too are fantastic in Notting Hill. Um, Hugh Grant's films have earned well over $1 billion, or well over. He is the king of that kind of nervous comedy, where you don't know what to say kind of thing. But he can do dramatic roles too, as he proved in that HBO series a few years ago, where he killed his wife. Yeah, he's great. He was at the Academy Awards. I said I wouldn't watch any of it, but Karen was watching with her headphones in on the TV, and she knows when Hugh Grant comes on, I'd be interested in that. So I saw him and somebody else. He was talking about the lines and his on his face now, joking about his appearance, but he still looks good. In fact, since he did that HBO mini series, he's had work done. That's the funny thing about that. He's had work done, at least Botox. I've heard wow is offensive in US. What does it mean over there? Wow? Just the word wow? We use wow all the time over here. Sometimes people will say it, like I put up the picture of Brooke Shields from Instagram, where she's looking out at the ocean, and she forgot to wear her knickers. She forgot to wear her knickers. Oh, you've been a naughty girl. You've let your knickers down. I am the Eggman. I am the Walrus. You know that song. Yes, yes. She forgot to wear her knickers. And she's, facing towards the ocean. And my goodness, God did such a good job, didn't he? He did too good of a job. Brooke Shields is still beautiful, still beautiful. She went through hell. She had an injury in the hospital that kept her in the hospital doing rehab. I think she broke her ankle, whatever. It was terrible. She's been through a lot, but she's done so many wonderful roles, and didn't deserve Tom Cruise coming at her because she would take depression medicine. Um, Lithium can save people's lives. When nothing else will work, lithium can. I'm not recommending it. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but for people that have serious depression, bipolar issues, lithium can turn everything around. Again, I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying I know that personally. Not for me. I'm not on lithium. I take some Xanax. Excuse me. I take a little Xanax at night before I go to bed. Not even a full gram, and it kind of relaxes me to sleep. I've been taking that since my first divorce, so now I'm totally addicted. It is addictive. If I tried to get off Xanax, it would be weaning one pill at a time, and it could take a year to get off of it. Because when you don't have it, like if I have run out, and I never do, but the few times I tried to wean myself off of it, I felt so down, so like I was dying. Gotta just can't stop taking the metoprolol. Could have a stroke. Got to wean yourself off of that. Once you're on metoprolol, Xanax, you're off and on for life. But yeah, check out Larry Chance. I hope he likes the video. I didn't get his permission to do it. He's a public figure, but he doesn't respond much to me. When I sent him before I even knew this song existed, I sent him a Bob Joyce song, and all he wrote back was "Nice song, Pally." Even though I've seen him, he doesn't know who I am. Yeah, he doesn't know who I am. He may have heard me on the radio here back in the day, but that's about that. You didn't realize I was live now, Heather O'Brien. I was listening to the Larry Chance songs. Yeah. Yeah, we just popped on. I did, I did the promo video for the Saturday night worldwide ramblings that we're going to do. I did that. And then I did the Larry Chance video, listened to it back. I actually loaded it, and then I was watching it right off the channel, and I referred to Larry Chance's Larry King. Didn't catch that in real time. I often don't catch my mistakes as they happen, and then I cringe when I hear them later, you know? That is something that really bothers me, and I'm trying to be more cognizant of it. I was really talking about Jimmy Sturr, the Polka King, who Larry Chance is a big fan of, as of course I am. And yeah, we ended up I ended up saying Larry King instead of Jimmy Sturr, if that makes any sense. Of course, I got the Larry because I'm talking about Larry Chance, you know. So I said I'm not leaving that in. I'm not leaving that in. Makes me sound like a total bozo. Oh, up to 15 people. Look at that. Who are the new people? Please. Oh, we have a new person we must welcome. And they know you, Shelley, I think. Polly Bailey. Are you related to George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life, who ran the loan company? Welcome to the virtual church of the disillusioned, Polly. This is the first time I'm seeing your name anyway. We'll be live this Saturday night for our worldwide ramblings, and we have a whole bunch of videos up here. And hope you will be with us then, or you can watch the live streams in the replay. Like this will replay in the live section of this channel as soon as we're done talking, as soon as I stop yapping. So Susan thinks it's an awesome song. So I'm going to, when I message Larry Chance, I'm going to tell him that people are saying this, and that he can even verify it. Okay, you're in Virginia. I have that state. Let's see. Where have I been in Virginia? Well, I've been in Front Royal, Virginia. I was at a Christian festival in Front Royal, Virginia. I've been in Winchester, Virginia. I've been there, stayed overnight there. I know my friend Sam Mason from Winchester, Virginia, who was on the Christian radio station there. He was my boss here in New York at the 14 station Christian network when I used to play the contemporary Christian music. You know, they're all mad at Amy Grant now. Any Amy Grant fans out there? She and her husband Vince Gill are hosting a wedding for her gay niece. And that is gaining them the ire of some in the Christian community, you know. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm not going to comment on it, you know. I often say it doesn't matter what I think about anything. It's what the Bible teaches, what Jesus teaches. But I'm very understanding of people that are homosexual. I'm very understanding of people that are bisexual. I think that many people are bisexual. Now, I'm talking about the flesh. There's the flesh and there's the spirit. So, and it's Paul that usually talks about homosexuality in the Bible. Jesus, as I see in the text, never mentioned it specifically, but there is Old Testament too. Why did I start talking about that? I used to play Amy Grant music. I did. Has anyone been to the Ark in Tennessee? No, Susan. I've been to Loretta Lynn's restaurant in Tennessee, up there on the hill, up on the mountain. But tell me about the Ark in Tennessee. The real Ark is supposed to be in Turkey. Anybody in Turkey? I had turkey today over at that deli I talked about earlier. No, but we have seen the videos and walkthroughs of it. Incredible. Well, I'm going to have to do that too now, Susan. I'm going to have to check out the videos of the Ark in Tennessee. Love to be there. Love the state of Tennessee. Absolutely love it. Been to Nashville, been to Memphis briefly, but I believe it or not, I've never been to Graceland. Never been to Graceland. I've never been to Spain, but I kind of like the Beatles. So it's basically women here. Joseph was on before, but we don't, Larry Hogan's not here. So we don't have all our women. Coming up on almost 55 minutes for part two. MD has to give you a weaning protocol. A weaning protocol. Okay. Um, let's see. Oh, so it's all animals. Well, that makes sense, right? Noah and the ark, all animals. So there's a giraffe there, is there? How did they ever get two giraffes in the ark, huh? Explain this to me. Um, well, that sounds like something Karen's grandkids would love to go to as well. They're from Georgia. They're from. They started off. Let's see. They were born in Georgia, right? I guess they were. Yeah. Her daughter, of course, was born here in the great state of New York. Well, it was great until politicians messed it up, and now everybody's afraid to go to Broadway. The idea we have here in the state of New York is that only the mentally ill people should have weapons because they can get them. With all the millions of guns out there, they can get one, but they want to make sure that the law-abiding citizen doesn't have them. I've never fired a gun in my life. I don't have a gun, don't want a gun. I was a peace officer for 19 years and never got a gun because we were in a homeless shelter and they didn't want us having guns there. We probably would have been shot with our own guns. Who's been arrested? Oh, he has been arrested? I'm missing that? I hope not. They were definitely having second thoughts, D.A. Bragg. But if you're telling me he has been, then I got to get to Fox News and see what's going on. This guy, D.A. Bragg here in New York, is responsible for the deaths of many people, violent deaths, because he let violent criminals out of jail. He has reduced the sentences. He only prosecutes 52% of the felonies, and he's lost many of those cases. Like it seems like he wants to lose the case, right? Maybe. I don't know. I'm just wondering. I hope not. I hope not. That would be a travesty. Paying for sex is not a crime. All they're saying is that he put it in the wrong column. You know, it's past the statute of limitations. And then this DA Bragg tries to elevate it and can't believe all the pushback he's getting. Well, look at Stevens here, the man that told me all about the Larry Chance song. So thanks, Stephen, because that's how I knew about it. He told me about the song. I guess I can say that because you're here. I hope I'm not violating any confidentiality. You told me about the Larry Chance song. Won't say whatever else you said. And I was able to share it. And now I've done a Larry Chance video, Stephen, talking about it. I can't play the song because we have restrictions. I would love it if YouTube, they could have one license and that I'd be willing to pay, just like you have to pay to be part of Live 365, hopefully a lot less than you have to pay. But I would be willing to pay and do a music show on YouTube radio. We could have it on TV too and have images that montages and stuff like that. Not just me sitting here listening to the music, but there are so many times I want to do that. There's a few videos up where they let me put a song in, but then they usually deny me the ability to monetize the video. They still run commercials, but I can't be part of that. And yeah, we're very happy that that you told us about that, Stephen. Hope you'll be here Saturday night for Worldwide Ramblings when we'll be talking about the emails that we've gotten and the comments here in the various videos, and many of them center around Bob Joyce, because we just speak of possibilities here. We speak of possibilities, and I've always said that if Pastor Bob Joyce wanted to video message me, I've said this since 2018, not in every single video, that that I would take them down with no questions asked. Not the live stream stuff where you comment and I comment back to you. That's a level of censorship I don't want to go to. But in terms of pre-recorded videos, and some of them have been up for a number of years, our oldest video up is the Bob Joyce Elvis Factor. You'll know because you won't see all the pictures on the wall. Somewhere about 6 months ago, I discovered Google Photos, and I missed photos that you could hold in your hand. So I started ordering maybe 20 at a time, and then another 20 and another 20. And now I have over 250 video of Google Photos. My entire life is here, including my ex-wives. I can't I can't stop. This is my life. These are my memories. And there's a lot of pictures of Karen, of course. And there's pictures of our travel. And there's pictures of Bob Joyce. And there's pictures of New York Post Mario Rivera, the greatest closer in baseball of all time, when he was voted into the Hall of Fame. 100% were for him. Nobody voted against him. And that was just a wonderful moment. Jimmy Sturr pictures and pictures of beautiful women. Karen allows that, like of Maureen McCormick and Emily Blunt and Valerie Bertinelli, and some of the people that have made an impact in my life that may happen to be beautiful. And some of the men that have helped me in my life and in my radio career. And there's even a picture over there of the best macaroni and cheese that you will ever have. It's from the Colonial Diner, and it's available tomorrow. Every Friday they have that, and they have their clam chowder. 1 week it's New England, which is the milky stuff, and then the Manhattan clam chowder, which is the saucy stuff with the tomatoes and stuff like that in it. And that is one of my favorite days to go to the Colonial Diner. But if I do get a large macaroni and cheese, I just eat a portion and I bring the rest home for somebody else to eat. This is my logic. Hello, Jack. I'm listening on my break at work, Steven says. I have been busy setting up for rentals, and I love Larry Chance's voice. Very great singer. So now when I email him after this or message him, I can tell him people liked it. And he won't say, well, I don't want it up, take it down. If he does, I guess I'd have to do that, even though it's he's a public person and I can say I like his music. He's a nice man, though. He's a nice man. And Susan is for Xanax. Well, yeah, it's been very helpful to me through 2 divorces, but I'm still, after all this time, only taking 3/4 of a milligram. I know people that take 3 or 4 milligrams. Doctors don't want to do that anymore. I tried to go up to 4 pills just so I'd have some in reserve. And my psych guy, who's a psychiatric, not a nurse, but what's the next step up from that? Like a doctor, a nurse practitioner. He is. His name is you. And a terrific guy. It's all telemed these days. And he said, no, because it can make your memory, it can mess with your memory. You be more forgetful. He says, do you feel, that you have times of forgetfulness? And I said to him, I don't remember. Oh, I'm my own biggest fan. Judy Wright is here. Yeah. Hi, Judy Wright. She's saying hi to Shelley with an I. Are you still here, Shelley? Or is that the other Shelley? I think Shelley with an I might have been here the first time, but you're Shelley with a Y you're speaking of. Shelley B. I see. Nice to have you, Julie. Very happy that you're here. And so mostly women, but thank you, Stephen, for coming in on your break. And thank you for telling me about the Larry King well, I did it again. The Larry Chance song. Larry King never sang a song that I know of except a little bit live on the air when he had somebody on. That was a singer. I did hear him do that a few times. God rest his soul. Hearts Wild is here. Hi, Jack. How you doing? GTSY. I should know what that means, right? All these abbreviations. I still don't even get that emoji on Facebook. That I thought it meant that you were thinking about something or you were unsure what was being said. But now they say the emoji means caring, and I don't understand that at all. But no, he has not, Heather O'Brien. Thank you. You scared me. I don't want to see our country get that far into the sewer where some DA that should be prosecuted for prosecutorial misconduct, who has let murderers go free. And then within 5 days, they killed a young woman. This one example, young Asian woman trying to go into her apartment. And this guy who he just let out follows her, pushes into her apartment. They find her dead and bloody in the bathtub. You did that, Alan Bragg, or Mr. Bragg. You did that, DA Bragg. Kathy Hochul said she would stop you. She said, I won't let it happen. I know my powers. What happened, Kathy Hochul? Why is D.A. Bragg not fired? Why is that awful man and the guy in San Francisco not fired? Why? Well, I know why in San Francisco. Newsom is a moron. Total. Oh, these are people that are destroying the country we love. It could affect your children. You can be a progressive. Oh, there's been these progressives that were for defund the police, and now they've got tape of them speaking to the local, they have their government meeting, their city council, and now they're all for. I spoke about this, and then I called the police, and no one came, and all this. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. This is just such a weird time when we're lapping off the breast of a 13-year-old because she feels like more like a boy. And here are two parents that don't deserve to have children saying, we're so sad that we live in a state where we can't provide this for our child. We're so, no regard for depression, mental illness, bullying, which causes kids to kill themselves sometimes because their schools are war zones. You know, you don't want to send your kid to public school anymore. And then they're trying to fight charter schools and private schools because they go to school and your 10-year-old has access to an erotic novel, and a woke teacher who's trying to shove that down their throats. It's the last days. It's got to be. It's just got to be the last days. Um, because I was a liberal for a long time. The old saying is if you're not a liberal by 25, you don't have a heart. And if you're not a conservative by the time you're 40, you don't have a brain. There's some truth in that saying. I think you look much younger than Bob Joyce. Hey, Jack, I think you look much younger than Bob Joyce. Well, in my Shelley B photo, did you see that yet? It's the thumbnail for the videos. I'm so glad that she did that. She did it and wrote happy birthday on it because it was my birthday on the 21st. And I asked if she could give me a version of that without the writing, because I want to use that in the videos sometimes. Well, people tell me that the closer you get to Pastor Bob, you notice liver spots and you notice more lines on the face sometimes, but there are so many things that can take those lines in the forehead, especially away. I know someone intimately that does that. And she still looks wonderful. She still looks wonderful. So email me again, Stephen. Any more information that you have. Redneck Ways joins us. Hello from something. Hello, Redneck Ways. I'm glad you're here. The longer we stay on, the more that people find us. And of course, we've already been on now for over an hour, and this is part 2. So I am winding down, but I do hope that you will join me Saturday night Yes, we'll have the Bob Joyce topic in there. Didn't go for it so much on now our last live stream, which was done Tuesday night, because I thought I was going to have to go to Hackensack Hospital Thursday morning. I couldn't do the Wednesday night because I thought I'd be getting up at 5 a.m. or something. Um, we talk about gender fluid. We talk about what's going on. It's a really good opening monologue, I think. Please check that video out. It's starting to grow now. It's got that image that Shelly B created digitally, and you can find all our past live videos, including the one we're doing right now. As soon as I finish yapping, um, you can find that in the live section of the virtual church. It was Shelley B that told me that I-95 is the most dangerous highway interstate in America. There's a car accident for every 366 cars. For every 366 cars on I-95. Look out, be careful. They're going crazy, and it's time to enact, unfortunately, I hate more laws and rules, but it's time to go for in-car technology that could identify these people going 95 miles an hour and could also notice that they're going in and out of traffic. And when they do crash, it's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. Horrible deaths on many roads in this country. And I know about Germany. What do they call that? I want to say the Autobahn. Is that it? Karen was there. She lived in Germany for couple of years. Her first husband, her only husband, really, going to be honest for terms, was in the service in Germany. So she lived there. Her landlord was Fran McGraw. Fran McGraw, wonderful woman who made her own butter and stuff like that. She was a real entrepreneur besides renting to people. And she loved her time in Germany. She did. Have we heard from Germany? I don't know. Always let us know if you're watching from a country or a state you think we may not have heard from. I have not heard from many countries. I have not heard from the state of Maine here or Hawaii, Alaska. Have not heard from New Mexico. We have heard from Arizona once. But there's a lot of places. So always let us know if you're watching in the replay. Put in the comment section where you're from. I'd love to know if you're new. Means good to see you. See, I'm a little dense sometimes. Hearts Wild. I'm just not up to all the abbreviations. Good to see you, Hearts Wild. I'm glad that you're here. Hope you'll be here Saturday night when we do Worldwide Ramblings and have a lot more information. But yeah, give the people what they want. As I've said before, and it's true of many artists. When Elton John would go out on tour, he had to sing Your Song. He had to do Benny and the Jets. He had to do Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. Billy Joel just came to terms with the fact that he cannot get through a concert without doing Piano Man. He's sick of the song, sick of it. But the moment you see him putting on the harmonica, which is going to hang up to his face, you know what's coming. At that point, there's no mystery, So, because that's what his audience wants. I hope that you will allow me to talk about other topics. I have other things to say. I hope you'll watch the pre-recorded videos that speak about other things. Some of them I put work into, and they're important to me, and I hope that you would find them interesting. But I'm also aware that right now that my audience wants to talk about Bob Joyce, and we're not going to ban that here in the live streams. We're not going to ban it. And if there's breaking news, I could do a pre-recorded video. But, I think we've covered most angles of the current story, but I'm always interested to hear what you think about. Yes, Susan, the deal is that there's somebody that, that may be a fine man, but is enraged that I'm talking about the topic and let me know it. And that's par for the course. we're both Christians, so hopefully we can both remember the scripture that says that well, first of all, vengeance is mine, says the Lord, and also that we have to keep loving each other through our differences. Um, do I want to say anything else about an offer? There was a gracious offer to come to fly into Little Rock, Arkansas, and to come to the church, stay at someone's house. No, not Bob's house. Don't be silly. Stay at someone's house for free and have the grand tour and everything, and that would include meeting the pastor himself. Um, but I believe this person is then expecting me to throw up my hands and say, "Okay, I was wrong about everything." Most people that go to the church that comment here, whether an email or whatever, say they're even more convinced. So I could only say it if I felt it in my heart. And then it started to get, negative, and so now I don't know that I would be welcome there at all. I don't know that I would be welcome there at all. I wouldn't want to walk in the door and have an immediate sense of what is this guy doing here? You know, I would be going there to praise the Lord, and I'd love to meet the pastor, but I don't know how the pastor feels about me. I don't know. He's never communicated with me. So there is that. But I did get that. I did get that invitation, and it's very tempting. But I'm actually afraid that I would regret it, and that I wouldn't have a car to leave. That's the funny part. Yeah, that's the funny part. If I drive, it's 1,800 miles because I'd be going to Texas too to see my granddaughter, my daughter, and my son as well. But I'd have no car. And I don't like staying in somebody's house. Usually, I like staying in a motel. I feel comfortable there. I don't like to people that I don't know, especially. I will be staying with my daughter this time for the first time when I go to Austin, Texas. So that's fine. But usually, I'm happier at the local Motel 6, that kind of thing. So I said that, and I have no animosity in my heart towards anyone. Um, uh, don't mention names here and what have you. Not interested in doing that. But there there was that offer. In fact, it wasn't the first offer I got to go there, but I think feelings may have changed now, and um, it would almost take the pastor himself inviting me for me to come. And if I did feel that I was wrong about everything, and what I only talk about is possibilities, then I would say that. But I wouldn't be going there to get another video. So what can I dig up? I'd be going there to praise the Lord and say hello to the pastor and doing much else than that, or saying much else about it than that I had a wonderful time or whatever, would be to me wrong. It would be wrong unless there was permission, because Trump will be having a rally in Texas, so I bet they'll be showing up. So that's that there. I love everybody, including the person who isn't happy with me right now. And if Pastor Bob would like me to come to the church and see for myself, or if he would like to video chat with me, I'm available to do it. I love him with all my heart and soul. I think he's a wonderful man. I don't let people say bad things about him here. I delete those comments because I believe what he's doing is God ordained, and there's other places if you want to speak bad about him, I suppose. So I don't let that happen here. I can't comment on other conspiracies that people might be interested in. If you want to label this a conspiracy, I don't. I label it as either the most incredible amount of circumstances that have ever been known in my lifetime, or we're right. It's like that. I wish I could go to a rally. Yeah, yeah, I might want to do that myself sometime. But I'm torn between two lovers, feeling like a fool. Loving both Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis is breaking all the rules. People talk about a dream ticket. You know what they'd say about that ticket? Oh yeah, I know. I don't think it's going to happen, but he's getting more nasty to Ron DeSantis, who just doesn't deserve it. Ron can take care of himself and punch back, but I understand that Donald Trump desperately wants to defeat Joe Biden. I don't even think Biden's running, and Kamala. I don't think they want her to run. So there you go. They're not going to fund it. But yeah, you like them both too, right? Hearts Wild, they're both great. And it's a shame that I would just take a different strategy. I would go over in the debate. Secret Service would be watching this, but I would go over in the debate and I would just give him a hug. I'm not going to speak bad about Donald Trump. He, as a president, accomplished many wonderful things, but even Mike Huckabee and some of his hard, fast subscribers say sometimes he makes you cringe in what he says and the things he decides to do. Probably would have been better not to have a rally on January 6th, you know? Okay, you feel that you lost it illegitimately. You're not going to show up at the inauguration. Okay, we'll get him next time, right? In 4 years or whatever. But that's not his style, and he didn't become president by being low key, did he? So it's going to be very interesting. Ron may have to wait to 2028 because DA Bragg is now on the Trump team. If DA Bragg decides to indict him, he'll only be rallying the Trump base. Like they'll be reinvigorated, like they to a point where they never have been that invigorated before. I think. Oh, crazy, crazy, crazy. I think we better wrap it up, guys. But I'm thank you so much. I've got to get a little walking in, and I think I got beef stew in the crock pot for later this evening, just before Tucker time. You know, got to see my Tucker Carlson. Anybody watch Tucker? I love my Tucker Carlson. He's an almost never a miss. I can watch Walt Waters sometimes, and on Brett Baer. I want to see the 6 o'clock Fox News. What a great man Brett Baer is. He spoke. He gave the commencatory whatever address at my daughter's graduation of Mount St. Mary College, where she graduated magna clam chowder or something like that. He was the one. Terrific guy. And then that bozo who I used to like, Dan Abrams from News Nation, comes on and calls blatantly, oh well, the Fox people, the Fox News people, they're all crazy. Well, if I'm crazy, I won't be watching you then. I was giving you a chance. And Dan Abrams comes on and says I'm crazy. Well, screw you, buddy. Screw you. I'll still watch that Cuomo every once in a while because Chris Cuomo is so full of himself that he is entertaining. He's on News Nation too. Sometimes I do because Hannity tends to say the same things a lot, but he does some great work too. One of my radio heroes, I'd have to say, Sean Hannity. He is, and he's done so much for the cause. So, midnight Saturday, that's East Coast time in the US of A, huh? Will you join me at that time? Watch the Larry Chance video, please. Like and subscribe. Very, very important. It's been a blast. I did not expect to do this much here on Off the Cuff or Pop On to Pop Off Ramblings. Thank you, Shelly B, for the beautiful digital image. Thank you, all you people. Heather O'Brien, thank you. And thank you, Susan. Thank you for the well wishes. Karen has COVID, so there's no surgery till the 27th of April now. We're beginning to think God's trying to tell us something about this surgery. You know, I don't know. But that means we are going to Poco weekend in mid-August. Don't rush the summer, mid-April, and I'm pleased as punch, as Hubert Humphrey used to say about that. I'm pleased as punch. Talk to you real soon. I love you. I appreciate you. And we're all about love here. It's a family. We're not coming on here to tear people apart. Although I think I did a pretty good job of tearing D.A. Bragg apart, and I meant every word of it. But the Lord says I can't hold animosity for him in my heart. If I will not go of my anger and pray for D.A. Bragg, he will not forgive me of my sins. And so I'm going to pray for D.A. Bragg tonight, I promise.